Hello, hello, hello. Okay, there we go. One moment, and I'm just going to set this bad boy up so we get the correct audio. Okay, let's turn up my volume, make sure I've got decent feedback. Try and do. There we go, that's what we like to hear. So, we are playing the Strategy Sunday Aircraft Survival Prologue, and then we'll move on to Call to Arms later on. This is the free demo for Aircraft Carrier Survival, and I have just downloaded it in preparation for Strategy Sunday. I haven't played it yet, so we'll be playing a new game. Haven't tried the settings, anything like that. I assume the settings and the graphic settings are set to okay, and audio settings are fine. We will see, and I'm just checking to make sure the audio for the game is adequate. That's the right word for it, adequate. So this looks so far so good. Looks like it's streaming right, and we'll do a new game. So we'll do the campaign, play it on normal difficulty, and I don't want to skip the tutorial. Let's find out what I need to do in this game.
Admiral, please take a moment to customize your look. This is how you will be represented in the campaign.
I don't really care about let's do air as a trait and voice.
Hard work is what keeps the ship.
Hard work is what keeps the ship moving.
And you'll just continue on with that. I don't really care about what my guy looks like. It's only the prologue.
Sir, welcome to Pearl Harbor. The strike group will return here after every successful mission. In order, upgrades for the strike group can be purchased here. Every upgrade will cost upgrade points. Have a look through the different tabs, sir.
Crew.
Crew is the heart and soul of the aircraft carrier. In the full version of the game, you will be able to upgrade both your crew members and officers on this screen. The amount of crew slots on the ship can be upgraded here, sir. In the full version of the game, you will also be...
So we've got different crew members, the officer slots. We can add officer slots later on. We can upgrade our crew slots to have more crew. But as it stands, because it's the prologue based game, it's still early days, so we can't do any of that stuff yet. Aircraft.
This is where your true power lies, sir. Or in this case, flies. These are the machines to be sent out into battle at your command. So do make sure they are well. Here you...
Okay, already we've got some loss of frames. I may turn off VSync. I can't do that. I suppose we'll find out later on. Upgrade your fighters, dive, and torpedo bombers or increase the total number of squadrons. Let's upgrade our offensive. I don't really care about defensive. Carrier itself.
You can purchase upgrades for various aspects of the carrier, sir. If you wish, sir. In the demo, there is only one carrier. These are all the carrier...
So you can upgrade radar range. Okay, it's good that it's basic, so you just click this button and it upgrades for you. It's not too complex, that's what we like to see. Lexington, but I suppose eventually get to Yorktown and the Essex, but that's not in yet. And the escorts.
There is strength in numbers, so even a powerful ship such as your aircraft carrier does not. Similarly to ship upgrades, you can upgrade your... This is the list of all...
And what we can get, so we have a supply ship, escort carrier, and cargo ship. And I suspect we can add things like cruisers, light cruisers, destroyers, and submarines later on. What does an escort carrier do? Let's go cruiser, why not? Actually, let's go light cruiser. Let's go size 3. Yeah, we can't do anything else like that for now. Let's launch. First mission. Japanese Imperial Navy has begun an operation to cut off our allies. Port Moresby and the islands near Tulagi are key strategic points on the Coral Sea. Without them providing support to Australia and New Zealand will be nearly impossible. We must interrupt the Japanese plans at all costs. Our intelligence intercepted a message with the exact date and location of the invasion, but have yet to confirm their path. Your task is to destroy the invasion fleet headed for Port Moresby. Prevent Japanese advance before they reach the shores of New Guinea. Our goal is to sink the majority of ships from the invasion fleet and disengage before the reinforcements arrive. Easy level, so we'll begin. So it looks like it's going to be very much like U-boat in terms of managing your ship, and I think the battles will be secondary.
We have reached the Coral Sea, Admiral. The last scouting report confirmed. The enemy invasion fleet progressing as expected. They will approach from here, or straight through this location. We can count on continuous support from land-based Australian scouts. Our recon has identified 2 harmless fleets in the area. No aircraft carriers were spotted. As a reminder, our main objective is to defend Port Moresby. Based on the CIC analysis, the optimal position to launch an airstrike against the invasion fleet is from Zone G7.
G7, okay. Whenever you want to find out how to operate certain functions, press the help button, a key. A different tutorial will be displayed depending on what you're offering, okay.
The deck is where you will control plane deployment and recovery. Adding orders to the deck is done from the deck view. If you want to add a squadron, click on the empty squadron slot and choose a squadron type. The maximum number of squadrons on deck depends on the amount of crew units assigned to the air department in the crew management panel. If you want to remove a squadron from the deck, hold it and direct it to the plane elevator. You can reposition squadrons on the deck in the same way, meaning there are no can be able to start missions. Remember that
We're gonna wing it. Prevent Japan's advancement, destroy Japanese fleet. Event we have detected by the enemy. And here's our ships, our fleet, and we need to go over here. Let's assume that strategic position. Okay. How do I get back out of this? That's quite easy. Our fleet's going along, scrolling, we can zoom in. What about damage from things like fleet and stuff like that? Here's the map. Carrier speed, let's go to dead slow, let's go for full speed. I can't go full. And crew management. We'll keep this as it is for now. We've got aircraft guns, medical. Yeah, that seems pretty standardized, pretty optimum. Okay. Our fleet, let us add dive bombers and add torpedo bombers. Add some more dive bombers. We'll go full offensive. So far, it doesn't seem too difficult. Over here, we've got all the different parts of the carrier by the looks of it. So over here, it looks like the living space, more living space, targeting, pumps, metrology, engines, ammo supply. Got one guy in the damage control wing. Quite good. I like how you can see inside the ship itself, the carrier itself. See where our officers are.
Ready, sir.
Different, I think officers allow you to set waypoints and update with information. It's interesting. I suspect if you move them about a bit, I don't know, with crew management. You can do other things like you can assign units to medical, places to damage and control, and things like that. I suspect to get higher efficiency. Okay. Next we'll try and... Not enough planes on deck. Not enough planes on deck. Not enough planes on deck. Okay. So I need to put more planes on deck. How do I go back to the view, the deck? There we go. Add some fighters, why not? And some more fighters and some more dive bombers. Just like dump all our fighters on this deck and see what happens. We've got an event. What was the event? So unknown object, unknown object, unknown object, and prevent Japan's advance. We're currently moving over here. Wonder if I can send any planes out now, which I can. Okay.
Start engine.
And we'll dump a identify target there. And that's all I want. And that's going to take 3 hours apparently. I think you can do other ways of doing your missions as well. So I believe there is a planning area on the ship itself where you can actually create plans with your flight crew. Gotta remember where it is. Okay. I might add more. We'll just add more dive bombers. Let's add a shitload of bombers and dive bombers. So we found some enemy. What do I do now? I would like to do an airstrike if that's possible, game. Like, we've spotted it, but I can't do anything about it. Not particularly high defense, but it's not the end of the world.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid. Have a DC team transport him to the infirmary.
So a guy's got injured apparently. I don't know what to do about it. Where's my infirmary? Infirmary! Pumps. Targeting. Pilots. Malfunction repair, damage control. What about medical? Medical. This is where you should have read. This is where you should really have taken a look at the tutorial. Let's be honest. Damage. Where's medical? Oh, you just click on the button. And then apparently there's a guy injured at the air department. Free camera, island camera. Deck camera. I would take it back. I don't want to take it back. Ooh. I see if I just take someone to the medical department, they will do it of their own accord. It's going to take them 10 hours to get there. Okay, they're gonna go repair. We've got random fires fucking everywhere. Oh, that's probably because of a fighter. Oh, send another guy into engineering department. That's weird. I wish I knew where the medical department was. I can't do airstrikes. I don't understand.
Launch aircraft.
Right, I've got 2 fires here, but there's nothing I can do about it. Like, where's my damage repair crew?
There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
I'm well aware of that. It's just that I don't appear to be able to put the fire out.
You can manage your crew units by clicking on this button, the number of assigned units, and overall here. Difficulty by hovering over their port. Remember that units need some time to reposition. Units will influence and get injured. You have to assign it to the infirmary slot over here.
Oh, okay. Damage control. Anywhere I can put this fire out, boys? Is that going to keep on spreading of its own accord? I've got fires everywhere, but I can't do anything about them.
Your aircraft carrier will need constant repairs. Make sure your damage control teams are ready at all times. You can obtain DZ teams in a few ways. Open the crew man. Assign 2 Navy officers to any Navy rooms on the island. Band automatically click on your to prevent damage.
Okay, so if I pause, I can't pause, but I should have a damage control team. You,
Waiting orders.
over there. Okay, now he's on his way down. While meanwhile half of the carrier's on fire.
On your command, sir.
Okay, they're putting the fire out. I need to do more management. I need to put some more boys in damage control.
Aye, aye. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye. On our way.
But luckily it doesn't take very long to put the fires out.
Admiral, the section has shut down due to damage. It'll take a while to repair it.
Ready.
It's best to send DC teams right away.
Okay, so it looks like it's a pretty simplistic view on damage control and well, damage, the effects of damage, and but I still can't do anything about this.
Admiral, the section has shut down due to damage. It'll take a while to repair. Fire below deck. Best to send DC teams right away. Damage
So
control.
half my ship is, half my carrier is just randomly on fire. Okay. I think I may need to restart this. I think I may need to restart this already, guys.
Welcome, Admiral. Please take a moment to come. Sir, welcome to upgrade.
Aircraft.
This is where-
Actually, let's upgrade the carrier. And let's try this again.
There is the crew.
Apparently that level was easy. Apparently that level was easy, but for some strange reason my
We have reached the coral.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
my ship just kept on going on fire. So first things first, on the map. Set my boys to go over there. Do crew management, immediately get off the navigation department and go on to deck and damage control.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
You need one fighter to do that. And mission is not activated on island. What do you mean mission is not activated on island? I can't do an airstrike.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Okay. And I can't remember how I went fast again. I can't remember how I went fast. How the fuck do I go fast again? There we go. Go half speed. Oh, how can I go slow speed? Fine. Fine, let's go slow speed. Crew management, that's fine. Mission objectives. Try not to die. Help.
The deck is where you will click here to expand the mission panel. There are several different kind buttons available on this panel. Island view, and use switches in the flag plotting room. Counter scouts, counter submarines, scout combat air patrol missions, be in launching basic requirements or combat air patrol missions. Only basic requirements must be met. The deck must be in launching state.
Okay.
It must be daytime.
Yep.
The weather must be optimal.
Okay.
All squadrons required for the mission must be present on the deck, and the deck must be operational, meaning there are no wrecks on the deck. If all of these requirements are met, just press the launch button. Missions such as recon, airstrike, and identify targets will require you to specify a target or a target area and a recovery area. Click on the Prepare button to open the tactical map and set all of the requirements. In the case of the recon mission, your target can be set anywhere on the map. When setting up the airstrike mission or the identified targets mission, your target must be an enemy or an unidentified object on the map. Remember that you can drag the target area and the recovery area around. Make sure that the recovery area is close to the carrier. You won't be able to retrieve your squadrons if the strike group is not within that area. When you finish, click the Confirm button. Missions on the mission panel will...
Okay, so already I need to cancel that.
Bomber squadron on the deck.
I need to identify targets. Confirm. Now let's speed this up. They're launching. Okay, launch him. Okay, so I've got to click launch to get these guys to do anything. That mean they've been launched? So we've located it, but for some strange reason I can't. I need more planes on deck. Apparently I need more dive bombers.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Start engines.
Alright, there's a submarine there. Lurking. I can't see it, but apparently there is. Mission is not activated on the island. Does that mean I need to go to the island?
Time to work.
Stay there.
Full focus now.
And I need to activate this island.
Ready, sir. Roger that.
Now I can do it. Can I?
Awaiting orders.
Not the best tutorial, I will have to say.
On my way.
But then again, I haven't actually looked at the tutorial in a great deal. Mission is not activated on the island.
On my way. Roger that. On my way.
Oh, I need to go down here to add an airstrike mission apparently. But going down there will allow me to do an airstrike mission. Which I can now prepare to attack with. I'll just dump everything on there, why not? And I need 3 torpedo bombers and 1 dive bomber. So I need to actually move around my command staff to actually get them to do their jobs, basically. How many have I got here? 1 torp. That's nice to know. Torp, fighter. You need 1 more torp and 1 more fighter. Now can I... No, it's still going to take some time because I'm sending these ships out.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue
Admiral,
a fighter
the
squadron
section
on the
below
deck.
deck has malfunctioned. Send DC teams now.
Let's go to recovery. Start doing some retrieval. I need to now deal with the deck problems. A lot of micro.
On your command.
Where's the fire?
Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing.
Yes, sir.
There's the fire.
Admiral, a section below deck has malfunctioned. Send DC teams now.
Oh yeah, I'm sending a DC team. So we're going to retrieve
Stand by to recover aircraft.
aircraft. Retrieve the submarine bombers. And we've got some guys doing some countering enemy scouts, but hey ho. Meanwhile, apparently I've got problems underneath.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
I guess not. So it feels a lot like a bit like if you played a Bomber Command or Bomber Commander, where really all you're doing is you're sending out ships and fixing the damage of your ship. There's not much in terms of strategic battle going on, apart from the map. It feels a lot like you're mostly trying to stop your aircraft carrier sinking and just more. It's not really a strategy, more. Well, it's sort of, because you're more managing the aircraft carrier, not really, and you are sending out missions, but your main focus is the aircraft carrier itself. So we are sending back our
Stand by to recover aircraft.
aircraft carriers. No, we're retrieving our vessels. Retrieving our planes from the defensive missions. And now we're going to go and switch back to launching mode.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
And launch the airstrike when ready. I suppose on the harder levels you'll have to make a choice between sending out planes, or sinking planes, or staying very defensive to take planes on. So we've got battleships, supply ships and submarines, which we're hopefully going out to counter. Now we're sending out our planes to fight that. But I don't think you particularly see the battle on this. So it's a bit like a radio commander, where you send like the planes out here, but you never actually see the battle yourself. We just get the end battle report. But I suppose we'll find out in a second. So we've got 1 mission already. It's just going on and should be in the works. There we go. So destroyed enemy battleship, enemy supply ships. We've lost dive bomber, torpedo bombers, and we lost one. We've got half damage torpedo bomber. Oh, you can watch a video of it. So that means there's 2 submarines are dead. But it also means I've lost a lot of ships. Lost a lot of planes. But hey ho, it is what it is. So we'll add some more. So how many? I've got 2 fighters, so I might as well add some more dive bombers, some torpedo bombers, more dive bombers. Let's throw out a load of dive bombers.
Squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck.
Okay, submarines and destroyers, torpedo boats and destroyers. Yeah, so we can't recover those attack planes because they were too far out, which is unfortunate. Our escorts, let's send out the escort carrier, and let's send out the cargo ship. Oh wait, we'll send out the escort carrier. And I think that will act as a decoy to keep at bay the rest of the invasion force. Hmm, 33 hours. How's my ship going? I wonder if I can get you to go a bit faster. No, I can't. So I need more crew in the navigation department. So we're going to move crew over to the navigation department. Hope we get them to about at least half speed. Speed them up. Okay, now we're at half speed. But to go even faster, I need to put another guy on there. Now I can go to full speed. Low supplies. Damage in sections report. Click to focus. How do I fix that? How do I fix that? Don't know. Let's go with torpedo bombers. The video is a bit pants. I'm not a fan of that video. I would have preferred a larger scale operation. I would have preferred actual seeing the battles. Okay, I can't send out any more ships yet, or planes yet. Well, we haven't been spotted by the enemy, our defense is particularly low. No spotting of the enemy vessels so far.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid.
Okay.
Have a DC team transport him to the infirmary.
You did literally just do that, and apparently that fixes the problem. Wish I knew where the medical department was. Anti-air guns, anti-air guns. Sick bay.
Awaiting orders. Aye, aye.
Okay.
On our way. Aye, aye.
That's damage control.
Yes, sir.
Section operational allows assignment of crew to medical department.
On our way.
So I take you and send you to the medical department. What will that do? Idle threat. We're not too bad. It's been a relaxing weekend. We're just trying to work out how this game works, if we're honest. But yeah, can't complain. Saw your War Thunder game with the modern vehicles on April Fools, wasn't it? And it was quite interesting. I quite enjoyed it. I quite like the anime aesthetic of the planes operation. Right now, we're just woefully confused. Oh, okay. You literally just take this guy, dump him in there, and he heals. Okay. That's literally just the health management system, which it's a little bit underwhelming. Yeah, it looked good. I liked, what's he called it, the Minotaurs. I think it was the Minotaurs with where you could literally just like camp on the back of the map and just fire those ATGMs. Yes, but how do I resupply? Oh, was it based on subtype process? So, maybe it wasn't that good. Probably don't want to base anything on Cyberpunk 2077 if I'm honest with you. See, apparently I'm out of supplies, so let's go to the help and talk
Your
about
aircraft
supplies.
carrier will need constant repairs. Make sure your damage control teams are ready at all times. You can obtain DC teams in a few. The island is essentially the control center of this. The chosen switch will be in a.
Okay, let's go to the island and see if that tells me what I need to do. Two times airstrike missions.
Roger that.
Is it? Is it on fire? Yeah, it was tutorial. It was tutorial. Trying to work out what to do when I've got no supply. Give supply order from the bottom left panel. Oh, okay. Improve visibility. See, you think that would tell you that? I need one guy. So I can't do the resupply because I don't have... What, this?
Sir. Ready, sir. Awaiting orders.
Yeah, what the fuck? So I can't choose this order because I've got 2 of these guys, but no...
You can manage your crew units by affects each department. Check a unit the coding slightly. Crew manage according to the slightly if not sent to the injured crew or crew by sending your
Nick, have I been stymied by the tutorial already? Oh, I see. Okay, you've got... So here you have the blue. So those indicate you need troops, or you need boys, and at least 1 blue and 1 red. There you go, now I've got 1-1. Now I can choose repair. So you've got to be moving these guys around to get at least this and this, so you can repair up. And your orders are dependent on the orders you can use are dependent on how many officers you've got assigned to a certain department. Okay, so let's look at the map. Is it morning time yet? Yes, it is. So let's go with identify targets and then send them back for recovery. Confirm. Yeah, the combat's not too good. It seems a bit underwhelming. It's like you just see a YouTube, well, you basically see a clip of the battle itself. So, for example, if I prepare identify targets, send him out, and then send him back over here, and click confirm, and launch these guys, you will see a clip, I believe, of the actual of the battle. Okay, so now we are repaired up.
There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
On your command. Aye, aye.
Yeah, it seems like nothing was going to get done. If I, the reason I have all these guys in navigation department is probably so I could go a bit faster. Now that's done, I don't need to. Okay, so neutral ships, I don't have to worry about that. So that's that's the sort of result you get. So if you send out a you send out a ship, not a ship, you send out a patrol, you get back like a sort of word response, like, you know, just like a text response. Okay, I've told you to go into recovery. That's because I'm not in there yet. Come on, recover it.
Sir, one of the landing planes has crashed on deck. You must use damage control to push it into the water.
Okay, apparently we got a damaged plane on deck. So we now need to use a damage control team to push it off.
Ready. On our way.
Need you come in to push that guy off deck? Okay, that's been pushed off. Now I need to deal with the submarine, so let's go back onto launch.
We spot the deck. Prepare
Yeah, so it looks like, so you go for, you've got two different settings. You can have either have it as launching, so you can't be launching and recovering at the same time. So you either need, when you send a patrol out, you need to have them in the launching side. But if you've got a patrol coming back, you need them on receiving. So that means you can't be launching and receiving at the same time. So for now, I've moved down to the launching side. I can now launch the submarine, launch these to go submarine hunting. And then I can add some more planes, for example, dive bombers. And they'll launch out. And they will hunt the enemy sub. And
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck.
then they should come back eventually. So I've got two. I've got torpedo, bomber, and fighter. So now they're launching. They'll be dealing with the submarine, which is over here. Now, if I don't deal with it, it runs the risk of getting slapped. But of course, it's missing out on the graphical aspect. Like, you want to see the submarines, you want to see the planes, you want to actually see the fighting, which you're not really seeing in this game, which is unfortunate. It seems more of a micro or management sim rather than an actual watching the battle. Still beautiful, but it's lacking to an extent because this is going to get very repetitive, especially if you don't see the battles yourselves. Of course, it is a prologue, but see, I'd rather see. I want to watch the bombers attacking the submarine. I don't want to just sit there and be like, oh, okay, now it's done.
Clear the flight deck.
So switch to recovery mode,
Landing.
and then retrieve.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
And once again, switch to launching mode.
To the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
Enemy scouts, I don't really care about the scouts too much. They can attack me all they want. And this is what you see if you look at the enemy scouts. Like, you can see the planes flying around, but of course you can't see it in relation to the actual carrier. So what you need is something like War on the Sea with these sort of aircraft mechanics. So you can see the enemy planes flying around your ship, which you're not seeing right now.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid. Have a DC team transport him to the infirmary.
Let's get off that. So what I need to do now is I actually want to stop my ship going anywhere. Switch off my nav department so they no longer have to do anything.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid.
Yep, I know, he's moved over there for now.
To the infirmary.
And then I want to send out some patrols. Actually, I probably want to remove one of these ships, or one of these bombers.
Move the dive bomber squadron back to the hangar.
So we can get out some fighters. So I can deal with the scouts.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid.
Yeah, that's why he's in over there.
Team transport him to the infirmary.
So I can get out some more fighter planes.
Squadron on the deck.
And then I can launch to counter the scouts.
Stand by to start engine.
So there's an enemy vessel, some submarines there. So we can pause, set an airstrike. And here's where we pick what we want to do with it. So this is basically the preparation for the attack. So we want to attack the submarines. And we want to destroy these. And that will take 2, but I'd rather have dive bombers. There you go, 2 dive bombers. And to use these cards, you need a certain amount of ships on deck, a certain amount of planes on deck. So, for example, for the torpedo run, I would need 1 one torpedo plane, and if I wanted a strike force, I would need two. If I wanted target fixation and bombing defense, I would need to use two of these. Two dive bombers.
Start engines.
I wonder if I can change these waypoints. There we go. Move this back to the navigation department and go to dead slow. So, and of course you've got a certain amount of time, but it's very managey rather than actual fighting. So we're going back to fight the Deco defense fleet, which we already fought once. Or sent planes out to fight, and now these guys will be out for 1 hour and 6 seconds, so we need to wait. And here we see the damages, and you can actually see the fight yourself, but you can watch the clip of the fight, which is a bit underwhelming, if I'm honest with you, a little bit underwhelming. This is the prologue, so I think this is a better / demo. You really want to be able to see the fights, or at least see a simulation of the fights, or something like that. This is a bit old. And of course it's a demo and it's a prologue, but for example, that's a destroyer, not a submarine. So we're moving back here to recover.
Respot the deck. Prepare for recovery.
And the enemy scouts have been destroyed. So we can now retrieve our ships. Retrieve our planes. And hopefully we'll get close enough to retrieve what else we want. There you go. I mean, we can retrieve our airstrike now. So division time is 11 hours, okay. And then we can again switch to launching.
Respot the deck. Prepare for launching.
And do some patrols and look around to see if there's any enemy vessels we can target. So once again, let's halt to a stop. Let's save. You can't save apparently. I can see there's been quite a what do you call it? A teething problem with long missions. If you can't save, you've got to redo the whole mission. But yeah, still it's the prologue. So it's still in. I think this is still got better as a demo, but it's not underwhelming. It's interesting, but it could be better. So we're going to send out a fighter team to patrol and return. Launch them immediately.
Start engine.
And await further orders. Because you need to identify your targets before you can bomb them. And this is a gam of whales, okay. So immediately switch back to recovery.
Flight deck. A plane is approaching landing.
Have these boys ready for recovery.
Sir, one of the landing planes has
Yeah, so
crashed
what have
on
we
deck.
got?
You
So
must
we've
use
got-
damage control to push it
Yeah,
into
so
the
this is
water.
this is the part of Australia, I think, and this is like a Port Moresby, which I don't know which what island this is. Maybe Fiji, something like that. I don't have a clue. But yeah, this is the first mission. It's supposed to be easy, but oh, this doesn't feel too difficult.
On your command.
So immediately move our guy up. So apparently a plane has crashed on my deck, on my deck. But I'm not seeing a crash plane on my deck. No, I don't believe that's true.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
In fact, we found the enemy. So we have submarines, destroyers, and a torpedo boat. And we can use escorts. Again, the thing, what feels underwhelming is that your escorts are just abilities you can use. They're not actual like escorts you can send out to attack the enemy or open fire on the enemy if you get too close. It feels a bit arcadey.
There is a fire below deck.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those games as well. We got to do all the work. Of course, I only played an hour of it so far, so I can't be too specific. But right now, it feels like your destroyers and that they're literally just abilities. Like look at this, escort carrier. This makes you undetected for a while. Cargo ship gives you 2 more squadrons. Supply ship gives you 2 more squadrons. Supply plus 25%.
Yes, sir. On our way.
So if this feels a bit arcadey, then of course one of the things that was going to be quite an attractive feature in this game was of course the damage repair and the damage control while you're fighting. So I can understand this being sort of arcadey as long as they simulate a good sinking effect of the carriers. But right now it just seems like fire randomly starts. You send the guy there, they repair it. I reckon you probably won't get many. I haven't been hit by a torpedo yet or sunk yet, but I suspect this ship, what do you call it? I suspect that the ship won't sink realistically. I think it's just going to be a case of send your damaged crew and repair, and after a certain threshold your ship will sink. So it's not really not that you've already lost that sort of sinking simulation effect of the game. Oh yeah, I was able to finish Desperado's game. Finished it a while back. But I've uploaded it all to YouTube now. But yes, it was a very good game. Really, I'm glad that I played it. Really interesting, really fun game. We're going to run away now because we're getting chased. Yeah, really enjoyed Desperado. It's a very creative game. You could tell it was made with passion from developers. I honestly think the game was exceptionally good. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine, bro. I mean, it was getting quite. You can tell by a good game because I was playing that non-stop, and I didn't really face burnout until later on in the day. Until like the last 2 levels, I wasn't feeling any fatigue until then. Yeah, there's no worries. Well, work is work. You know, you got to do the old work. So this guy should be going forward now. We should be able to go to full speed and run away.
We're taking water. You should send DC teams to pump it out.
And again, you're just getting random damage to the actual sections of this ship. It's like, why are we taking on water? Did we come under fire? Where is the flooding? What's the problem?
On your command. Can't do that, sir. Awaiting orders. Negative. Impossible, sir. Negative. Ready. Aye, aye.
Click to toggle deflooding. I'm clicking you to toggle deflooding. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the flight deck, see what the problem is. So, damage control.
Time to work.
Admiral, we're taking water. You should send DC teams to pump it out.
Yep, I'm well aware of that. Like, I'm taking water randomly. Yeah, it's feeling pretty similar. Like, I am taking water randomly. I have no idea why.
Do that, sir. Negative.
Like, the ship's flooding, and my crew refuses to do anything about it.
On your command. Negative. Can't do that, sir. Impossible, sir. Sir. Roger that. On my way.
No, you stay there.
Sir, on my way.
Admiral, we're taking water. Engine section send DC teams to pump it out.
Yeah, but you won't let me do that, game. I'm clicking on my DC teams, and you won't let me do that.
Do that, sir. On our way. Aye, aye. Yes, sir.
Like, I'm taking random water, I don't know why.
Negative. Can't do that, sir.
So this is a damage control team, but it will not let you
Your aircraft
stop
carrier
the flooding.
constant repairs. Make sure you're null and assign your crew to the view. Select an officer and assign reinforcement order button. Make sure your damage control teams, DC teams, create a path and send them to put out fires. Rest and DC teams and one in a DC team certain level. Leave
Oh, one sec. Leaving a DC team in a room in a pump section
pump out water of all flooded rooms.
will pump out flooded rooms down to a certain level.
DC team in any room of the maintenance section will greatly reduce the
So if I take you and take you to the pumping room,
Aye, aye.
apparently you're going to stop the flooding. Even though my ship is pretty much dead now. You can't even close the doors. Can't even close them. Doesn't look like it.
Ready. On our way. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye.
Which is, again, a bit frustrating because you'd think they would let you do that. And it's just very disappointing. I'm very disappointed with this game. Like, you don't, like, closing doors is the basics. Like, closing doors, like sending
Ready.
a few guys to work the pumps just to get the water out. It's so arcadey. So arcadey. Really arcadey. Let's check the deck, shall we? What have I got on deck? Bomber, bomber. Oh, bomber, bomber. Fighter, bomber. One more.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Nah, not infest. Not infest at all. I mean, Yeah, I mean they've got the basics in. Maybe it's just a better. But if they're making a free demo as a prologue, they need to add that realism. They need to add that complexity. Right now, it just feels like, okay, it took me what, an hour to find out most of the basic rules of the game. But the things like the damage, if your entire game is dedicated around the carrier, then you need to add the game needs to be very complex about that carrier. If you're not going to have the battles in it, then like you're not going to have the naval battles or the big air battles, and you're just going to see the carrier, then you need to have a lot to do with the carrier. You need to be really inside the carrier, looking around it, looking at the damage, the flooding, being able to close doors, being able to move crew out of the way, being able to put sacrificial lambs inside. You know, they really need to. If your game revolves around the carrier, then it needs to have a ridiculous amount of complexity or detail in it. But right now, it's just a case of, oh, I've got flooding. I will send my control team to the pumps. Oh, I've got a fire. I will send my fire team to the fire. It's right now, it's pretty bare bones.
Roger that.
Better get to it.
Right, now for an airstrike, prepare airstrike. There you go. So what I'm going to do, anvil attack on the destroyers. I need 2 torque bombers, okay. Two. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, you could do so much better. You don't even have to have this. You could completely ignore this part and just have this constant going back and forth. One, 2. Like, yeah, this you don't really even need this part. You could just have send planes out, send fighters out, send ships out. Wrong. You could just have, okay, there's an enemy, prepare, send these out, and then focus entirely on the carrier survival aspect. I mean, yes, it is carrier survival, but there's not much carrier survival going on. How do I lose this?
We have reached the Coral Sea.
But I couldn't even see the invasion fleet.
Full focus now.
Yeah, it's very primitive. Very primitive right now. I don't know where the invasion fleet is. Like, I was waiting there.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber
And this seems very obtuse as well right now, this game. It seems very obtuse.
squadron on the deck.
Like, is that the invasion force? Where is the invasion force? Is the invasion force up here? Can I move around to see that? Like, I was waiting for the invasion force to arrive, like the invasion time. but I didn't see an enemy invasion force. Like, is that the enemy invasion force? Is that the enemy invasion force? Do I just have to destroy all ships within the time limit? Could you perhaps mark it on the map for me?
Launch aircraft.
Yeah, got together. It's feeling pretty oofy right now. But maybe I'm just it's not even about the difficulty. It's I just have an underlying sense of apprehension about this.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Really disappointing because I thought this would have been a very good game.
Respot the deck. Prepare for launching. Stand by to start engine.
Now we've got enemy fighters on the approach, or enemy vessels on the approach. If I slow this down a little bit, maybe I can stop it from happening.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Okay, I need to do that.
On the double.
Start engines. Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing.
Okay, so we've just come into attack by enemy planes. But it doesn't appear to have been particularly painful in the slightest.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Maybe because I sent the cap out in time.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
An objective has been completed, sir.
So where's the identify targets mission? There it is.
Launch aircraft.
Let's go down to half speed or dead slow. No way to enjoy enjoy the work. Okay, they're returning, so I can send out another recon squad. Actually, I can't. Enough planes on deck. I suppose the complexity comes from the management aspect, not yeah, I suppose that's only way the complexity can be is from the management aspect. So I need to have another recon mission.
Time full focus now. On the double.
More identify missions.
Start engine.
So they're returning, so I should send a deck to recover.
Respot the deck. Prepare for recovery.
Admiral, we're taking water. You should send DC teams to pump it out.
Glorified busy work.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get more fighters out on the deck. I can't, I gotta wait.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Because I'm receiving. Alright, go back to launching.
Deck. Prepare for launching.
Admiral, we're taking water. You should send DC teams to pump
Go
it
back to
out.
recovery.
A plane is approaching landing.
So far so bad, we really haven't actually noticed any enemy vessel. I have no idea what to do about this enemy fleet.
Ready.
Apparently we got damage on the rest of our vessels, but I haven't spotted any. There we go.
Aye, aye. On our way.
There it is.
Aye, aye. Yes, sir.
Okay, is it morning time? No, it was 1:53 in the morning.
Aye, aye. On our way.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Sir, one of the landing planes has crashed on deck. You must use damage control to push it into the water.
Everything appears to be being damaged now, which is rather frustrating. And I can't move these guys off. What on earth is this game? Move off. Over here. Can't move them. Can't move them.
Pump section is shut down.
Apparently
Water
everything
cannot be removed.
stopped working. Everything has stopped working and there's nothing I can do about it.
On our way. Aye, aye.
Like, what do you want me to do about it? I can't do anything. I'm trying to move my troops off. Look, watch. You won't allow me, game, to move things off.
On your command.
Captain Carrier, the aircraft workshop section is shut down. Repair it ASAP,
Yes, sir.
as you won't be able to repair aircraft without it.
Aye, aye. On our way.
Admiral, the section has shut down due to damage. It'll take a while to repair it.
Now,
best
how
to
is that?
send DC teams right away.
How is that logical? We will have the ship randomly break, and as time goes on, we will keep on doubling the damage done. That is idiotic. That is an idiotic mechanic in this game.
We have reached the Coral Sea, Admiral.
Like, the definition of stupidity. Like, who sat down and thought this was a good idea? Random malfunctions, random flooding. Absolute insanity.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Let's go at slow speed. I'm not going to move these guys around. Absolute insanity.
Bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
This is not, yeah, I'm not feeling this in the slightest. This is not, it is a beta, it is early access, well, it's not early access, it's beta, it's not in full release yet, it's a demo, but this does not, it's not ticking any boxes for me right now. So apparently I have a damaged section. Where is it? It won't tell me where. Again, basic quality of life. Click on this. Tell me where the damage is. If you don't tell me where the damage is, there's not much I can do about it.
Stand by to start engine.
Submarine, it's not a big deal. Also, they should at least give you an indication of where the enemy's invasion fleet is. Right now it's telling me to go here, so I'm going there, but it won't give me an indication of where the enemy's invasion fleet is, so I'm just pissing about in the wind. Okay, not particularly interesting victory.
On the deck. Prepare for recovery. Stand by to recover aircraft.
Recover the aircraft. Switch to launching.
And prepare for takeoff.
Not close enough yet. Once we get close enough, we'll be fine. And I'm loath to move these guys around because of, you know what, who cares about AA guns? Send me to full speed.
Start engines.
There
Okay.
is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
Fire below deck, and these random flyers are just potato, absolute potato. So we have an enemy bombers coming in. Again, you won't actually see the bombers until they're close up in a cutscene, so that's not particularly interesting. Cap, let's get these fighters out.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
So I can launch them against the enemy planes.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Okay, I got two. I need to activate it on the island, don't I? And that's a silly thing as well. You can only pick a certain number of attacks if you activate it on the island.
Launch aircraft. Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing. Stand by to recover aircraft.
Like they've added undue complexity in places that aren't particularly that relevant. It's not necessary.
Admiral, the section has shut down due to damage. It'll take a while to repair it. Best to send DC teams right
On
away.
your command. Aye, aye. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
Okay, they actually hit us.
Ready. On your command.
About all the fires.
On our way.
But even if that bombing run was painfully underwhelming, it wasn't really that interesting.
Ready. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Ready. Aye, aye.
Sir,
On
the
your
engine section
command.
is shut down. Without it,
On
you'll
our
only
way.
be able to travel at dead slow pace.
Awaiting orders. Ready.
Start pumping.
Yes, sir. On our way. Aye, aye. On our way.
Anti-aircraft, why not? Why not? Don't care. I mean, honestly, couldn't care less with this game.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. On your command.
An objective has been completed, sir.
Aye, aye.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Awaiting
Okay,
orders.
has that all the damage repaired? Almost.
Ready. Yes, sir.
Respot the deck. Prepare for launching.
And then if I go on the map, can I actually launch some identify target missions? I can. Confirm. Go ahead and do it. Bomber, bomber, fighter, fighter. You've been launched. I can't deploy at night. Still have yet to destroy the enemy's invasion force. Okay, been refueled and we're back at it again. The inability to attack means I can't do anything.
Admiral, a section below deck has malfunctioned. Send DC
On your
teams
command.
now.
Absolutely idiotic. It's these random damages are just idiotic. They're adding work because they haven't. There's not enough to do in the game. So they've done loads of features wide as a puddle. No, as wide as an ocean, as low as a puddle. And it's pretty rough. But it is the demo slash beta slash alpha, whatever it is. But it's not, in my opinion, this is not what I was looking for in this game. Well, it's 1 hour 30 minutes. I can't say that yet. It's 1 hour 30 minutes. I haven't even done the first mission yet. Right, this is just busy work. That's all it is. Ah.
Start engine.
What does recon do? No idea. 1 sec.
Respot the deck. Prepare for recovery. Stand by to recover aircraft.
What does recon do? Hey, let's check. Let's go to the island. There's no point going up having an airstrike ready if we can't use it.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
Again, this needless busy work. You could literally just done that for me.
Stand by to start engine. Start engines.
This is a trap again. If I don't actually go this way, I'm going to die. So you returning? You've returned. Not enough planes on deck. No, not time of return 3 hours. Time of return 51 hours.
Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing. Stand by to recover aircraft.
Sir, one of the landing planes has crashed on deck. You must use damage control to push it into the water. Aye, aye.
So I've got 17 hours. Let's see what I can do here. There it is. There's the target. RNG saved me. Okay. I don't care. Okay, you're off on a mission, you're off on a mission. You know what? If it's the only mission we gotta do, fucking throw everything at it.
A member of your staff requires urgent medical aid. Have a DC team transport him to the infirmary.
Let's throw everything we have at it. Can't I add any more vessels? Yes, I can.
Respot the deck. Prepare for launching.
Dive bomber, torpedo bomber, torpedo bomber.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Launch aircraft.
Admiral, we're taking water. You should send DC teams to pump it out.
On your command.
Needless busy work. There's no need for this.
Ready. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's switch this to recovery.
Respot the deck. Prepare for recovery.
An objective has been completed, sir.
That wasn't good. Honestly, that was not good. There's not enough visual feedback from the battles. It does not. It's needless busy work. Like, all right, let's break it down. So let's think of the first thing. So first thing, the random damage and the random floodings. Not necessary, but because the game isn't interesting enough, they've got to do these little bits of busy work for you to do as you progress through the level. So, and the random damage to that is pointless. It means extra clicks. It adds no impact, no thinking. It's just, okay, send a damaged guy there, send a damaged guy there. There you go, it's repaired, we're done. Next is the actual strategy behind it. It seems like you just wander around aimlessly, maybe send off a few recons and hope for the best when you're not mindedly clicking to play to do the damage control. Seems a bit fucking pointless. And then eventually, once you do send out an attack fleet or an airstrike, it feels like, okay, here's your. It feels unrewarding. It feels painfully unrewarding. You send out a bombers and strike force. You don't see a big old battle. You don't see your bombers and your fighters coming down. You see, okay, from your use of cards, you were able to sink this battleship, this submarine, this destroyer. And you lost these two flights of planes, and then you get this little cookie cutter cutscene to say well done. I don't want a cookie cutter cutscene. The reason I'm playing this game is to work with an aircraft carrier and to see the impacts. I mean, if you're going to have this game needs to choose between whether or not having the full-scale battle shown in front of you simulated, or not having it at all and just being completely focused on the aircraft simulation. If it focuses completely on the aircraft carrier simulation, then it needs to reduce all this pointless busy work. Why do I need to click a random option in the island screen so I can have 2 recon missions instead of 1 recon mission. It should just be based on the planes and the type of planes. So for example, if I've got 2 fighters out, then I should be able to do 2 recon missions, or I should be able to do two fighter missions, or I should be able to do... It shouldn't be 2 fighter missions only if I've got that selected on my island. All that is more needless clicking and more needless management. So the first thing is that needs to be set. That needs to be fixed as well. So the pointless island settings, which gives the illusion of complexity when actually this creates more tedium. The carrier itself doesn't simulate the flooding, doesn't simulate the fires or explosion. You're not actually dealing with any damage. It's literally, there's a fire, send the fire control team. There's a fire in the pumping room. It is reducing the effectiveness of the flooding. The flooding is causing the carrier to list. The list is causing the planes to fall off the carrier. There's none of that. It's just, here's a flooding tick. If you get too many flooding ticks, the game's over. So they've gone aircraft carrier survival, but it's so painful. The survival is so painfully shallow. The actual aircraft, the aircraft fighting is shallow. The aircraft carrier survival is shallow. The quote unquote complexity is effectively just more settings you've got to click before you can send your planes out. It is not a particularly interesting game. It's basic. It's really basic, and I think you wouldn't get much fun out of this game. If you're a casual player, then fine, it'd be fine. This is a mobile game basically. You could play this on your mobile, you could play this on your iPad. This is not a game that has the complexity required for a PC game. For a PC, you don't need like the mouse, you don't need extra settings. It's shallow, woefully shallow. So I've got some more recruitment points. I can have more crew members, I can have more officer slots, I can have more fighter planes. That gives me more survival. I don't really care about the survival. The carrier itself, I can upgrade the radar range, which means it's easier for me to spot things, I think, and the escorts. So I'm going to upgrade this so I can have a submarine. But that's the key gripes I have right now. They've got many features, or an adequate amount of features, that are as wide as an ocean but as shallow as a puddle. The survival mechanic is shallow, the damage is shallow, the fighting is shallow, the planning is shallow. It is just a very shallow game, in my opinion. So deploying an infantry division on Talagi Island will give us a big advantage if they can storm the area. If you manage to neutralise the 2 enemy bases located on the shore, you will greatly increase the soldiers' chances. The primary objective is to make sure the transport fleet carrying the troops reach the Talagi coast. The enemy is sure to launch attacks as soon as they discover its location. After mission is initiated, the fleet will be arriving in Talagi within 48 hours. The platoon survival is of most importance. Destroy the 2 land bases and protect the transport fleet at all costs. The Japanese navy will be coming after them, so you must keep an eye out. If the fleet is destroyed, the US chances in the war will be greatly diminished. So apparently this is a hard one. Okay.
Sir, the task force is now in position, ready to storm the Solomon Islands. A transport ship carrying soldiers is headed to the deployment point, located over here, with an ETA within 48 hours. Our strike group has been tasked in destroying the enemy base along the shore. Clearing the coast before the platoon arrives would give them the upper hand. Transport is en route now. Allied ships are providing an escort along the course. Their numbers are low. It is highly advised we provide them with air support to deter any oncoming attacks. The platoon's safety is the highest priority. A couple of our aircraft squadrons have already made contact with the enemy in this area. They are headed to your carrier's location for retrieval right now. Reviewing their report should prove useful. Awaiting your command, sir.
Air department, navigation. Get off the aircraft carrier guns, I don't care about them. Fighter, dive bomber, torp. Okay, 1 torp. can't move up and down. My objectives are protect the invasion fleet and defeat the enemy targeting Allied ships, and then destroy the 2 land bases. That's optional, so let's just protect the invasion fleet.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
So I've got identify targets, so we've got airstrike, I have got airstrike, and I have got identify targets. Those are the 2 most important ones. Immediately switch to full speed. Immediately just call out the submarine hunt. There you go. It's not very intuitive. I don't have to take evasive action. It's just you have a certain amount of time to destroy the submarine before you get hit by a torpedo, and you either send out submarine planes to go submarine hunting, or you ignore it. So they've been sent out, not particularly interestingly. Okay, there we go, destroyers, all that jazz. So immediately do an airstrike, prepare on you, and send out an anvil attack. Send out a defense. Send out attack maneuver. 2 and 2. Confirm. Go back here for resupply. Confirm. And I need... Not enough planes on deck. What do you mean not enough planes on deck?
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Let's get rid of one of these fighters then. I don't care if these sink, I don't care. It's only, what, 2 bombers? Bomber. Torp. Bomber. Torp. 1, 2. Give me another dive bomber, why not?
Dive bomber squadron on the deck. Stand by to start engine.
Repair ship, a destroyer. And let's view the battle, why not? I'd love to say that was interesting, but it's not. It's prearranged clips. Okay, these guys on the way back.
Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing.
Retrieve.
To recover aircraft.
Go back over here. And because it's 2 in the morning, I can't attack him again. So I've got a troop ship and a light carrier I need to deal with. Oh yeah, I also need to get more ships on deck. What have I got here? Bomber, dive bomber,
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck.
dive bomber,
Issue a dive
torpedo bomber.
squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Are we in? We're going to recover you in time? Don't think so. Shit. Retrieve.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
It's fine. We'll just send out the decoy carrier. There we go. No longer detected. And now I've got to wait till morning. Might as well heal up while we wait. Okay, prepare the airstrike. I want that light craft. I want this light carrier destroyed. Let's do it. Send out your planes and sink it. Launch. Launch. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
More busy work.
Launch aircraft.
I don't care about the scout plane. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck.
So we still didn't destroy the light carrier, but we did destroy the repair ship. Okay.
Issue a dive bomber
So what have I got here?
on the deck.
Dive bomber, torp, dive bomber,
Torpedo bomber
torp.
squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Launch another.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Still have yet to destroy you. Need to get with that light carrier. In the meantime, no, I can't. You are the main threat for now. Okay, you're back. Recovery.
Spot the deck. Prepare for recovery.
Oh no! What am I gonna do? There you go.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Oh wow, we're getting massively attacked now. This might actually be interesting. Battle midway, boys. Don't go on the defensive, go on the offensive.
Respot the deck. Prepare for launching.
Once again. Attack. I've done maneuver 1 and 5 is disabled. I don't have a clue how this is working. I'm just I'm just dumping stuff. But I need three of those boys to do that. Okay. So I need 3 and 1, so I need to get rid of my torpedo bombers.
Move the torpedo bomber squadron back to the hangar.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid.
And that's just
Have a DC
tedious, busy work once again.
Move the torpedo bomber squadron back to the hangar.
So I need fighters, don't I? Yeah, 1, 2. Oh, they're coming in to bomb us. Apparently.
Sir, a member of your staff requires
None of them actually hit, so...
Have a DC team transport.
So was that, wasn't that interesting if I'm honest with you?
Start engines.
These guys coming in. You get a medical attention. Okay, so once they get to a certain point, you can't even see them come in to bomb you. They just come in automatically, and it's over. Oh wait, can I? Is that something? Can they see me now? Are they actually coming in for a bombing run? Is this simulated? Is this actually worth my time? No, it's not. You can't. You can't actually see the bombing run.
There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would call that a solid 10 on the underwhelming scale.
Awaiting orders. On our way.
Like, I got fires, but no one bombed me, so. You missed. You missed. Nice work. Standing work.
Yes, sir. On our way.
Let's go to the island and sort this shit out. Give me more attack runs.
There is a fire below deck.
I'm well
Sir,
aware there's
damage
fire below
control
deck. I just simply do not care. Okay.
On your command. Aye, aye.
I'm going to send out another attack. I don't see why not.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
So I've got 2
Section has shut
torp
down
bombers.
due to damage.
Fighter squadron on the
It'll
deck.
take a while to repair it, so best to send
Awaiting
DC
orders.
teams right away. There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
Full focus now. Ready. On our way. On
Issue a
your
fighter
command,
squadron
sir.
on the deck.
Okay, and we'll prepare another airstrike. I got 2 torpedo. Wait, what do I actually have on my deck? What have I got on my deck? Let's take a look. I've got fighter, 1, 2, 3 fighters, torpedo bomber, and something
There
else.
is a fire below deck.
Issue a torpedo
Sir,
bomber squadron
damage
on the
control
deck.
is needed.
Aye, aye. On your command. On our way. Ready. Yes, sir. On your command. Aye, aye. Awaiting orders. On our way. Ready. Negative.
Okay, let's check the deck. What have we got? 1 torpedo, 1 fighter, 3 fighters, 2 torpedoes, and a dive bomber. So if I pair that. See, this does nothing, no, damage-wise. But this is plus 14 fake strikes. So I need extra 2 torpedo bombers for this. Well, I need 2 extra dive bombers. So I need 2 and... wrong. 2 and 3, so let's get rid of these torps.
Move the torpedo bomber squadron back to the hangar. Move the torpedo bomber squadron back to the hangar. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber.
Always go on the
squadron deck.
offensive.
Admiral, section has shut down due to damage. Send DC teams to while repair it, so best to send DC teams right away.
Aye, aye. Ready. On our way. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
We've got some flooding, nothing I particularly care about. Seems like I can just tank most of these attacks. Doesn't seem to affect me in the slightest.
On your command. Aye, aye. Ready. On our way. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye.
Okay, what we got? Fires everywhere. But hey ho, who cares?
On your command. Ready. Yes, sir.
Okay, that should be good. Let's launch another... I can't launch any more dive bombers. Now it's getting a little bit more fiddly. A little bit more fiddly. Nothing...
There is a fire below deck.
Issue a dive
Sir,
bomber squadron
damage
on the
control
deck.
is needed. Admiral, section
Still nothing against that light carrier.
cannot be removed from the carrier without it, so repair it ASAP.
Absolutely nothing against that light carrier.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Launch aircraft.
Admiral,
Awaiting
section
orders.
has shut down due to section has shut down due to take a while to repair. It'll take a while to send DCTs right away. The deck section.
No, we've been hit massively.
Default DC teams are unavailable. Admiral, section has shut down due to damage. It'll take a while to repair it, so best to send DC teams right away.
Okay, now we're getting smashed.
Section has shut down due to damage. It'll take a while to repair it, so best. Sir, the aircraft workshop section is shut down.
Interesting.
Repair ASAP, so you won't be able to repair aircraft without.
Let's restart this. Maybe it's a little bit more complex, but I'm not feeling it still. I feel like once you learn the right combination of planes and that, it's just going to be a case, okay, there's a carrier, send some planes out, send some dive bombers out. It doesn't seem that interesting.
Sir, the tap.
Yes, I'm well aware. Torpedo, dive bomber, dive bomber, dive bomber, fighter, fighter, dive bomber. Okay, management. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Okay. And then on the map, send our guy out once again. We've got 1 recon. I need 1 identified targets. I need at least 1 identified targets.
On the double.
There we go, that's good. And switch to slow speed once everyone's ready.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Maybe. No, I can't. I'm really struggling to sort of rate this game right now because I've only got 2 hours of gameplay on it, so I can't be the judge. And of course, the last game was the easy mode. Now, if it stays as what do you call it? Demanding like that carrier battle, then maybe that was quite enjoyable, that carrier battle, being able to like saying, okay, do I keep on sending out fighters, do I keep on sending out bombers, do I go defense, do I go offense, what do I do with my damage control parties? That was actually pretty enjoyable. But it's the other things like the actual bombing runs and the actual damage repair itself that's not enjoyable in the slightest. It's a bit tedious because I was quite enjoying that. I know you probably didn't hear me say it. I was quite enjoying the actual battle itself. The thinking about, do I keep on attacking, do I keep on defending? Especially if I realised I couldn't just abuse the system and just keep attacking and tanking the enemy bombing runs. Bomber, 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 fighter, fighter, fighter.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
3 fighters, 3 bombers. Let's identify this guy again. At least I know what he is now anyway.
Admiral, the section below deck has malfunctioned.
No, this part isn't enjoyable. Like, this is just tedious.
Awaiting orders.
Like, oh, a random damage. Go fix it.
Possible, sir. On our way. Ready.
Like, you're just randomly starting flooding.
On our way.
I hope you enjoyed the random flooding. Okay, let's go down to normal mode.
On your command. Yes, sir.
Let's send out our escort carrier as a decoy while we wait. And then on the map, we've got the enemy torpedo and the battleships here. So let's relocate out of here. And there's a light carrier, so let's try and do an airstrike on him. He's got a defense of 30 and 34, so I need to boost that somehow. That's locked. This will increase my damage here, but that's locked still. Why is this locked? Oh, and it tells you the strategy down here. With the strategy, attack will serve no purpose. One enemy unit will be destroyed. Boosting the offense further might be beneficial. So that 2 enemy units will be destroyed. And I can't use here or here because they're locked. That's fine. 2 units. And 3 or 4 of my units will, my planes will return. Let's send more to the air department. See if I can do another airstrike once these guys are launched.
Start engines.
The deck. It's frustrating. So fucking tedious.
Negative.
I can understand why I'd get flooding during an attack,
Yes, sir.
not beforehand. Like, half of my carrier is sinking right now for no apparent reason.
Yes, sir. Aye, aye. On your command. Yes, sir. Ready. On our way.
Okay, we sank a troop ship and a torpedo ship, but we did not sink the light carrier. Let's get out of here and find out what would be the best strat to sink that light carrier. Can't deploy at night, so there's no point doing it.
Clear the flight deck.
Admiral,
Plane is
we're
approaching
taking
landing.
water. You should send DC teams to pump it out.
I know I'm taking water. What do you want me to do about it?
Aye, aye. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Okay. There's the enemy light carrier. But we're still trying to work out a way of actually bombing that. For that I need 3 and 2. Okay, so I need 3 torp bombers and 2 dive bombers. So I think the best strat here is before you actually pick what planes you're going to have on the deck, to plan an airstrike first and then play around with the different settings and the different cars to see which is most likely to give you success, rather than taking planes out onto the deck first, then building a plan with the planes on deck. Rather, it's best to do it vice versa. Build a plan, get the planes out, then send the planes. So I need 3 dive bombers.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
Admiral, a section below deck has malfunctioned. Send DC teams now.
And that's just fucking obnoxious. That's so fucking painfully obnoxious. So I need 3 torp bombers.
Move the fighter squadron back to the hangar.
Admiral,
On your
a section
command.
below deck has malfunctioned. Send DC teams now.
Aye, aye. Ready. On our way.
Move the fighter squadron back to the hangar.
Okay, so I need torp bombers. Get this guy out.
Move the fighter squadron back to the hangar.
Come on. Before they start attacking me.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Admiral, a section below deck has malfunctioned. Send DC teams now.
Command. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Aye, aye. On our way. Awaiting orders.
They need to get rid of this. The damage for the sake of damage is awful. It adds nothing. It adds nothing to this.
Aye, aye.
You know, here I'm trying to build, I'm trying to organize, and in the meantime I've got this irritating voice saying, there's damage, fix the damage. I don't know, what are these bloody, what do you call it, submariners, not submariners, what are these fucking naval guys doing? It's like punching the walls. Hi, how do you use the radar? Oh, you just fucking pour your coffee over it.
Admiral, section below deck has malfunctioned. Send DC teams now. Send DC teams now.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Alright, what's Michael done now? Oh, well, he decided to put the bloody pumps in reverse and flooded the ship. Oh, I see, yeah. Like, have I got the worst... worst crew in history?
Ready. Aye, aye. On our way. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye. On your command. Yes, sir.
The literal worst crew in history.
On our way. Yes, sir. On your command. Aye, aye. Awaiting orders. Ready. On your command. On our way. Ready.
Admiral,
Yes,
the section
sir.
is shut down due to
Awaiting
damage.
orders.
It'll take a while to repair it, so best to
Ready.
send DC teams
On our
right
way.
away.
On your command. Aye, aye. Ready. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye.
What is going on here? Have I got Japanese spies in this ship? What is this ship made out of?
Start engine.
Ready. Yes, sir. On our way. On your command. Aye, aye.
No, we're going 2-speed right now.
Awaiting orders.
I don't trust this. Like, what are they doing with this vessel? Why is it falling apart? It hasn't even been attacked yet.
Ready. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye. On your command. On our way. Ready. Yes, sir.
Admiral, section has shut down due to damage. It'll take a while to repair it. It's best to send DC teams right away.
Oh lordy. So we didn't even get attacked. Just basic malfunctions duplicated and duplicated until our ship was simply unseaworthy. That's ridiculous. They need to get rid of that. You should only get damage to, or malfunctions to your vessel if it's taken damage from attack. This adds nothing to the game apart from busy work and tedium, and this is frustrating. I was about to achieve a massively effective airstrike. I was trying to avoid the enemy air war, and this is what I get. A mission failed state because of malfunctions. Insane. Let me check this game on Steam. Is it actually on? Is it early access or fucking Aircraft Survival Prologue? I'm not sure if it's early access or it's better, or if it's alpha, or if this is just a demo. But if it is a demo, well, you've got a lot of work to do for this game. You have a lot of work to do. Can't stop flooding is in the Discord discussions. Very complicated. It's not complicated, it's busy work. Let's do it again. One more go and then we're moving to Call to Arms.
Sir, the task force is now in position, ready to storm the Solomon Islands. A transport ship carrying soldiers is headed to the deployment point.
Let's have everyone on here. So we're going to do a straightaway offensive dive bomber, torpedo, 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 and one fighter. Oh wait, the queue's maxed, okay.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron.
Hello, German North. Yeah. Well, my ship keeps on breaking apart because of malfunctions, which goes to say a lot.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Like, God forbid if you miss I think what they're doing is they're, after a certain time limit, the malfunctions duplicate, so you get more malfunctions. So if you miss one malfunction, you're not paying attention, you end up with 2 malfunctions, and after a certain period of time, you end up with 4 malfunctions, and then 8 malfunctions, and then the next thing you know, you're fucked, which is not enjoyable.
Awaiting orders.
So that's pretty fucking oof. Send out the submarine. Fuck it. You spotted someone? Thank you very much. Airstrike, prepare. Like, this game, this fucking game. What do you mean I've got no fighters on deck? Are we still waiting for a fighter? Oh wait, I haven't sent him out yet.
On the deck.
Launch!
Start engines.
Don't let me down. Or if you do, I would rather lose the game for being sunk by an enemy carrier attack or an enemy aircraft attack than lose the game from death by malfunction. What do we lose? Torpedo boat. Okay. So if I prepare another airstrike on you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 3 and 2 again. Okay.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Let's do this.
Bomber squadron on the deck.
Hopefully we can get another attack in time.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Yes, we can. We can get another attack in time. Just before night time. You missed us losing a battle just by malfunctioning. Basically, that's all you missed. You missed us losing a battle by malfunction. So I assume this carrier was made in China or something like that, because the entire ship just fell apart and it didn't even come under attack. It just completely fell apart. But fortunately, I destroyed the light carrier this time, so it's not that bad. But that's pretty rage-inducing. So immediately recover our aircraft.
Start the deck. Prepare for recovery.
Retrieve, retrieve.
Recover aircraft.
And now we've gone farther than we've ever been.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
So I think I'll have one fighter out.
Below deck.
Okay, now immediately you've got to do something about this, because if you don't, your ship just blows up.
Yes, sir.
God forbid if you ignore it or forget about it, or you're too busy doing something else. God forbid.
Sir, one of the landing planes has crashed on deck. You must use damage control to push it into the water. On our way.
Yeah. I don't think they've gone for they've gone for particularly high realism in this, sadly. So I don't think it matters. I think you literally have a set number of cards you've got to use, and depending on what card you use, is the sort of there's the planes you need to have on deck ready to be ready to deploy. But even though it gives you the illusion of complexity, I'm guessing once you're experienced enough of the game, you eventually find out that actually you don't need. You can just use one cookie cutter deck loadout, and you can win. So I've got too many fighters. I've got too many bombers. No, too many fighters. I've got too many fighters. I only want one fighter out. One fighter. Get another fighter out.
Move the fighter squadron back to the hangar.
Yeah, how they move the planes on the flight deck. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have been very critical of this game, but it is beautiful in parts, but it needs polish. It does need a high level of polish. Yeah, it needs a lot of polish.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
What have we got? Identify targets. Can't do that at night time. It's still too early in the day. Let's go this way. I assume I was just going to clear here until the Allied fleet arrives. But I've already destroyed one of their task forces. I'm guessing there's going to be another task force down here that needs to be dealt with.
Launch aircraft.
Okay, let's launch some fighters. But have these guys been launched? I've gone mostly offensive in my loadout, sadly. I should have perhaps gone a bit more into defensive as well. Still detected, so that's not going to help me.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Move the torpedo bomber.
Nah, old ship. Old Lexington is just spending more time actually looking at the deck.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
It's a gam of whales, great. Okay, let's deal with this.
Stand by to start engine.
They're going to be returning in an hour.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid.
One guy just randomly got ill.
Transport him to the infirmary.
Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing.
Hmm, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, recover.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Sir, a
Trevor.
member of your staff requires urgent medical aid.
Yes, I'm well aware.
Team transport him to the infirmary.
What do I need to do now? I'm going to head off this way in the hopes I can find out what that is. But we need to repair first. No, we need to resupply first. And then go back to launching.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
Must have been so tedious having to constantly do this back and forth, back and forth. Torpedo, torpedo, bomber, bomber, fighter, fighter. Okay, that's fine. Worst case scenario, we'll take one of these guys out and switch them around. You're nice and replanned, yes you are. Go full speed. It's a neutral ship, so that's not my problem. That submarine is useful to have. I like that submarine. We'll be able to get back in time, I doubt it. Never know, I suppose we'll find out. Launch.
Start engines.
Planes are out and about. What are we going to find? Can't find anything. Great. Shit.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Start engine.
I did it now. Well, I don't think I'm going to get hit very much, if I'm honest with you. I'm more likely to die from malfunctioning.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Could aim to deal with this as well. You know what? Why not? One cap. You can move over here.
On my way.
And you can move to 2 recon missions and a cap mission.
Roger that.
Oh, okay. There you go. And that should allow me to do a cap mission. There you go.
Stand by to start engine.
Oh, hey, oh, what's that? A submarine as well? Bloody hell, I'm launching fucking everything right now. What am I trying to achieve here? Oh yeah, I was trying to find out more, see if I could find more scouts. So I could scout and actually find some of their vessels. They didn't really do any damage to me, which is nice.
Respot the deck. Prepare for recovery.
Okay, and we stopped their bombardment on us.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Come on, do your job. Thank you. Retrieve.
Admiral, a section below deck has malfunctioned.
On your
Send
command.
DC teams now.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Is that the... Yes, it is. Okay. I need to send out some recon to actually find some ships to sink.
Respot the deck. Prepare for launching.
Because I am aware that the Allied fleet is on its way. Bomber, bomber, torpedo, torpedo. I need fighters.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Okay. On the map. Identify target. Prepare. Come back to me when ready. Confirm. Ah, oh, come on now. Launch.
Start engines.
Hopefully they find a target. Gonna take him an hour to get there. Another neutral ship, great. And you're on your way back to return. Hello, 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 there we go. Oh, I need to select airstrike. Can't airstrike at night, so we need to relocate over here. And hopefully get hold of this guy in time. In the meantime, let us do some recovery and prepare our deck for a imminent attack. Because we spotted them first, it looks like perhaps we will be... Sorry mate, you are getting left behind, so looks like we're going to lose one of our air fleets because we won't be able to recover them in time. Well, it's only one fighter, who cares? So, one bomber, dive bomber, torp, and I need one more torp.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
One more torp. And they're chasing us right now. I think I'm going to send off a decoy. I can't, he's already been sent off. I have to wait till morning time, and hopefully our attack will be successful. Seems like it's a good idea to prepare for an attack at night and organise your squadrons around at night time. Still can't deploy them yet. Are we outrunning them? Yes, we are. But I don't want them to run away from me as yet. Full speed! Full speed! Okay, you need to click off and click back on it. Don't run from me. Come on, 10 more minutes. There we go. So we've got a battle cruiser, a light cruiser. Our main target will be that light carrier. Can't use any of these. Oh, I see. Depending on the ship, depends on what cards you can play. For example, I can't play any of these cards because of that battle cruiser. No purpose. No way we'll get past the enemy defenses. No purpose. No way get past enemy defenses. So I need 222 to at least have a chance of sinking one of these vessels. Okay, this will sink one vessel, and I need 3, 1, and 2. Oh, piece of shit. Okay, how to plan this out? I need to get rid of one dive bomber.
Move the dive bomber squadron back to the hangar.
2 torpedoes. 3 fighters. How on earth am I going to get 3 fighters? One torp. Okay, I need to get rid of a torp.
Move the torpedo bomber squadron back to the hangar.
Okay.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
And then launch it.
Start engine.
And that's how they're adding that complexity. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. So they're adding that a bit more complexity by, depending on the enemy vessel, will depend on what cards you can use. So we killed the light carrier. And now we need to kill the battle cruiser and the troop ships. Well, apparently that's a light carrier, so okay. So the next airstrike. Target a battle cruiser. For that I need 1, 3, and 1. Three.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
1,
Issue a torpedo
and
bomber
1.
squadron on the deck.
When they're all on, we can send the next attack.
Bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Launch aircraft.
Where are our allies and why are they in danger? Oh, there's the allied fleet. Okay. Wouldn't have minded if you had told me that earlier. Okay, and then we destroy a light cruiser, and troop ship. Dive bomber, torpedo.
Issue
For that one, I need
Torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
3 torpedoes.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Stand by to start engine.
And immediately go to recovery and recover all these guys.
Prepare for recovery. Stand by to recover aircraft.
There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage
orders.
control is needed.
Yes, sir.
And there's flooding for some reason
On our
as well.
Sir, one of the landing planes has crashed on deck. You must use damage control to push it into the water. Aye, aye.
Yeah, I'm going to full speed. Actually, I'm not going to full speed because of the flooding. Oh yeah, I'm out of supply, that's why. Something the game could have told me. Okay, so I think I failed that because I wasn't paying attention. Well, I didn't actually see the friendly invasion
Sir,
fleet.
the task force is now.
So we'll do this one more time, and then we'll move on to the next game for Strategy Sunday. So apparently the friendly forces come this way.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
But yeah. Yeah.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck.
Fighter, fighter, bomber, bomber,
Issue a
torp,
dive bomber squadron
torp.
on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck. Start engine.
Hmm. 2 ships. I need 3 and 2. Okay.
Issue a dive bomber
You got to get crack at that micromanagement with this bad boy, don't you?
bomber squadron on the deck.
Come on. Oh, I've got 3 dive bombers on deck. I don't actually. 1, 2. So this arsehole.
Move the fighter squadron back to the hangar.
What do I need? The dive bombers.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck.
Launch it.
Launch aircraft.
Once these guys are launched, move back to recovery.
Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing.
That destroyed everything but the carrier, which I do not care about. That can be ignored. And chase after me all at once. It's night time. Okay, I'm out of recovery zone for the airstrikes, so I'm going to lose all those planes. Let's see how it is what it is. Okay, and then switch back to deploying.
Prepare for launching.
Dive bomber, torpedo bomber, torpedo bomber. And then we'll keep one spare just in case.
Issue a torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
So that means I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, and odds are I'll probably be able to get a good attack off. And again, because you don't know where the friendly allied fleet is coming from, it's very frustrating because I'll be wandering around this part of the level where it's not actually relevant, when I need to actually be going around this part of the level. Full speed, not much going on. We're doing on the map. It's making our way downtown. Making our way downtown. Do 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 do. Yeah. A lot of niggling things I don't particularly like about the state of the game currently. Hello, what's this? Okay. Can only do that at night, so let's go around. And what is this? Light carrier, light cruisers, battle cruiser, and troop ships.
Admiral, the section below deck has malfunctioned. Send DC
Awaiting
teams
orders.
now.
Ready.
Alright, what's sunk and what's damaged?
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. On our way.
And then back on the map, let's send out our decoy carrier because it's going to be daytime soon and we don't want to get attacked. Prepare the airstrike. Okay, what's the most effective way of doing this? Feels a lot like the illusion of complexity right now, where you just pick one which will give you more damage. There you go, sync 1 to 2. So I need 3 of those and 3 fighters. Turn it back down to normal speed. What do I need? So get rid of the dive bombers completely.
Move the dive bomber squadron back to the hangar.
And then I need 1, 2, 3, and 3 fighters.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid. Have a DC team transport him to the infirmary.
Move the dive bomber squadron back to the hangar.
Maybe having all these guys out on deck is perhaps not the smartest thing to do.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Start engines.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid. Have a DC team transport him to the infirmary.
So the first attack and then a second airstrike.
Admiral, we're taking water. You should send DC teams to pump it out.
We killed 2 a light carrier, light cruisers. I didn't kill battle cruiser. I didn't kill troop ships. Okay. It seems like you're not aiming to wipe out these fleets entirely, just damaging them to keep them away from you. Like now the carrier's been dealt with, I don't have to worry about it anymore. It'll do its own thing.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to be in recovery range? Yes, you are. What's going on here?
Ready. On our way.
Ah. Like flooding for flooding's sake. Come on now. You're almost returning? Yes, you are.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Oh, fighters, eh?
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
What I currently got in my possession. I've got fighter, 2 fighters already, so that's fine. I need to select that in the island, so it's just more busy work.
Stand by to start engine.
You back off to moving. No one's injured. Don't care about that. Loads of load of carriers coming at me, which is not too good. Load of carrier planes. An awful lot of carrier planes. Send out some more fighters.
Fighter squadron on the deck.
There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
Shit.
Awaiting orders.
Getting smashed all of a sudden.
Squadron on the deck.
Aye, aye.
To the island. Let's get nothing but fighters out.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
I know.
Issue a fighter squadron on the
Sir,
deck.
the pump section is shut
On your
down.
command, sir.
Water cannot be removed
On
from
our
the
way.
carrier without it.
On
So
your
prepare an
command.
ASAP.
Awaiting orders. On our way.
Launch aircraft.
Sir, engine section is shut down. Without it, you'll only be able to travel at dead slow
Yes,
pace.
sir.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of attacks from enemy planes.
Ready. On our way. On your command. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye. Ready. Yes, sir. On your command. On our way. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye.
Stand by.
The maintenance room is shut down. If you want to continue repairing malfunctions, you must restore it.
Ready.
What do I need to restore? Oh, over here.
Sir. On your command. On our way. Sir, one of the landing planes has crashed on deck. You must use damage control to push it into the water.
Not much I can do right now, son. We have in a bit of a position.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. On your command. Aye, aye. Ready. On our way. Awaiting orders. On your command. Awaiting orders.
No, okay, no, and the rest is fine. That's okay, it's fine.
Admiral, the section is shut down due to
Yes,
damage.
sir.
It'll take a while to repair it. So best to send DC teams right away.
Ready. On your command. On our way. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye. On your command. On our way.
Stop bringing me up. I've got bigger things to deal with right now.
Ready. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. On your command. Ready. Awaiting orders. On our way. Ready. Aye, aye.
Jesus Christ, there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
Let's put everything on damage control. I can't. I've been stopped from doing that.
On your command. On our way. Ready. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. On your command. Ready. Aye, aye. On your command.
Sir,
On our
the
way.
aircraft workshop section is shut
Awaiting
down.
orders. Yes, sir.
Repair it ASAP.
Ready. Aye,
You won't
aye.
be able to repair aircraft without it.
On your command.
Admiral, the section has shut down due to damage. It'll
Yes,
take
sir.
a while to repair it. So best to send Admiral, the maintenance room is shut down. If you want to continue repairing malfunctions, you must restore it. Admiral.
No, okay, looks like a dead day for me as well. Like all my guys are no longer able to repair because the damage is fucked. It's just, yeah, it's all fucked. So that's pretty fucking shit. Well, let's do a review of this game. How many hours? I've got 3 hours of it, so I can't really review it. But let's, from the demo so far, I see what they're trying to get at. They're trying to go at the complexity of constantly having to do I either go offense or defense? What planes do I need to get out? What planes don't I need to get out? What mission should I have? What mission should I have? But they've put undue complexity in places where it's not needed. For example, the island system where you pick missions to send your planes out on, not really that needed. It's a waste of time, and they add the extra layer of complexity which isn't required. It doesn't add anything to the game. The damage repair, it's just whack-a-mole. There's nothing really complex about it. There's no I wouldn't say there's any difficulty. You either get either you've got enough damage repair to fix all the damage, or you don't and you sink. There's no reducing the speed of sinking use it by decision making or anything like that. It's just deploy a damage control guy. If you've got enough, you stop your carrier sinking. If you don't, you're fucked. In terms of the actual battles and the missions, I see what they're trying to go with, the added complexity about picking the right plane, so you can't just use a cookie cutter build of the planes, but it makes it feel a bit arcadey, and it also, although I thought it was an improvement about just sending any plane, it still felt a bit tedious going, okay, so I can't put any planes out on deck yet. And at some stages I was just thinking, well, what's the point of retrieving the planes? I might as well just allow them all to crash, because I can't be bothered to I really can't be bothered to retrieve them again, because it's just going to waste time. In terms of the missions, sometimes the missions are a bit iffy. From the 2 missions, you don't really know what you're doing until you've lost the first mission, and then once you realise where you were supposed to be going, it's normally by then too late, so you need to replay it a bit. And in terms of like the other mechanics, well, there's not much in terms of mechanics. As a strategy game, it's more micromanagement simulator or management simulator rather than strategy. You're not really thinking about the grand picture. You're more thinking about the how do I put it? The here and now, and just maintaining your ship, and you don't really feel like you're having much of an impact on the war. It just feels like, okay, the written text battleship has been crossed out, that's my job done. You don't really feel like you're having any sort of substantial impact on the war effort. You're just going, send planes out, here's the report, okay, job done. You're not actually seeing the fruits of your labour, so you're going through all this rigmarole, you're going through all this hardship of moving your planes, reconnaissance, and you're not really seeing any sort of payout from it. You're just it almost feels like an office job. It's like of management. It's not, for my own limited time on it, I'm not feeling much enjoyment. A few times it has gained my interest. For example, after a few heavy attacks from enemy planes, but it's always been quickly lost by the monotony of the process. And as it stands, with the things like the random malfunctions and the undue complexity which isn't needed, it doesn't add anything. I'd rather they got rid of stuff from the island and put more stuff in terms of damage control and things like that. If you're going for a game that is aircraft carrier survival, then you should have more mechanics based around the survival of your aircraft, rather than press one button to get 2 extra airstrikes, press one button to get 1 CAP. It doesn't add anything. It just means instead of going straight to your deck, you've got to go to your island first to select an airstrike, or to select the correct settings, which is tedious at best. But altogether, I would not review this game particularly highly. If you're into that sort of if you're into naval history, then sure, I guess. But it doesn't feel like it feels like it's tedious rather than complex, and simple when it should be complex. So there you go, that's my review for it. And so I'll give this, I don't know, graphically it's okay, mechanically it's mediocre. I'll give it about 5 or 6 out of 10 on my own review. But this is the demo. They may add more stuff to it, but it isn't really that enjoyable to play, honestly, to be honest with you. I felt War in the Sea did better carriers than this game, and of course I know what they're trying to get at, but they've got it at it all wrong. They fucked it basically. They haven't got it right. They've gone too arcadey, too simplistic where it counts, too tedious and quote unquote complex where it doesn't. So there you go. So what we'll do after this is I'll go for a smoke, and I will boot up Call to Arms as for the remainder of Strategy Sunday, and then I will probably play a few hours of Call to Arms and move on to and then probably finish early today so I can so I can upload my videos, because they haven't been uploaded recently. But there you have it. Of course, feel free to argue otherwise. Free to point out perhaps I'm doing it wrong. I just need to quote unquote get good. But from where I'm coming from, I mean, after the first initial teething parts, I understood what I needed to do. It's just that doing it wasn't fun. So there you go. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a mildly enjoyable weekend. Adieu. I will see you guys later.